give you a kiss. So what happened
Heartfelt.
was, the guy ended up wanting to take me on like a little cruise and on like a date. And so when we got to his house, or when we got to the restaurant and we had our food, we went to go pick up the car that was valet parked. And it was like a Lamborghini, and I was like, okay, cool, or whatever, you know what I mean? So we get in the car, we go for a little joyride, and we had plans to go out to the shooting range to shoot some guns and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he thought that just because he had a Lamborghini and we went on a little joyride or whatever, that he was like gonna get laid. So we pulled up to his house, and I was like sitting there like, okay, like waiting to go gun shooting and stuff like that. And then he like busts out the wine, and he's like, let's Netflix and chill. And I'm like, I'm not Netflix and chilling with you. And then he's like, let's get in the hot tub and the jacuzzi. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, cool. So we get in the hot tub and in the jacuzzi. And then he's like, oh, like let's shower so that we can go to the gun range. So we go to the shower, and he's like butt naked. And mind you, like I'm wearing my bathing suit, and I'm looking at him like, oh my God, what the heck? And he's like staring at me like this, and he's like, give me a hug. And I was like, I'm not giving you a hug. And he was like, I knew that he thought that that was really weird, but I was really weirded out and grossed out, and I was like, what the fuck? So he showered, and I just like showered in another room and put my clothes on or whatever, and then he took me home from the date. And then
so you didn't go shoot guns.
We didn't go shoot guns.
Oh, so
no. He wanted to have sex. Like his entire plan was like, I'm gonna pick her up in a Lamborghini, and I'm gonna give her a little joyride, and by the time she gets to my house, she's gonna be so like, oh my God, Lamborghini, her panties are gonna be on the floor. And it was like, okay, well, I didn't want that to happen. So we were driving back home, and he dropped me off at my house, and I was like, oh, I had a really good time with you, like I can't wait to hang out with you again or whatever. And he was like, I'm gonna let my personal assistant know to ship back your bathing suit. And I was like, what?
Wow.
I was like, what do you mean? I can't just go get my bathing suit. He was like, I'm gonna have my personal assistant ship you your bathing suit back.
Wait, what? So just one point of clarification. Was this before you started prostituting?
He didn't know about my occupations. This was a Hinge date.
Wait, hold on. You're currently on Hinge, or you were on Hinge?
No, I was on Hinge. This was like
Hinge.
6 months ago or something like that in Arizona.
You don't say
Scottsdale.
on your Hinge profile, hey, by the way, guys.
No, and that's
Probably get
irrelevant.
banned, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's irrelevant from the story completely.
Do you put your social medias or anything on your Hinge profile?
So then,
wait, one second.
So
Wait.
No. Now you're interrupting me. Now you're interrupting me, Miss Candace. Now you're interrupting me. Now you're interrupting me.
Okay, but I have. Stop. I have a further point of clarification. So, okay, fine. You didn't put it on your Hinge profile, but like before going on the date, you thought about telling him, by the way, I'm a prostitute?
So I was going on a date with this guy to see if he was fun. That doesn't matter. My occupation was not the matter of the topic. The point of the conversation, anyway, back on track, was the point that when he dropped me off, he wanted to have his personal assistant freaking send me my bathing suit. And I was like, wait, why? What the heck? And he was like, because we stood there. I was stood in front of you butt naked after the jacuzzi thinking you were going to have sex with me. And you were the only girl that's ever seen me butt naked and didn't want to have sex with me.
That is so weird. Well, this is a man that didn't know.
I mean, it's a pretty weird story.
And this was a man that did not know my profession. And that's my point is men are freaking weird. And why did I even have to disclose before a date what I did was weird? Or why do I have to disclose my occupation before a date when men are over here acting like this?
I don't really follow the logic on there because his behavior doesn't really have anything to do with what I would imagine is an important disclosure prior to meeting somebody. But I mean, let me ask, let's say you did like the guy, he didn't do this fucking weird goofy shit. Would you have disclosed prior to having sex that you're a prostitute?
I was never going to have sex with the Hinge date.
But like if eventually you liked him.
I'm saying if you liked the guy and you at some point you wanted to have sex with him, would you have disclosed to him that you're a prostitute?
In my dating life, if I'm out here at a bar, whatever, and I meet up with a guy, it is up to me to disclose my occupation. I don't have to tell somebody that I am a legal sex worker in Nevada.
You're not legally compelled to do it, but it seems like it.
If I'm going to pursue a relationship with this man and be in a relationship with this guy and he's going to be my husband or whatever, okay. Yeah, I can disclose whatever I want to. But
wait,
I don't.
What do you mean you want to?
No, I said if I ever would want to be in a relationship with a man.
Yeah.
Or be married or whatever,
sure.
I have no problem with disclosing
At
this.
what point would you disclose?
But I will not be disclosing my occupation with just strangers.
But at what point would you disclose to a guy?
If I was ready for a serious relationship or a marriage.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's just some people yelling outside.
But you know what I mean, though. It's like
Nick, can you close the doors?
Are you using protection when you're?
Yes, of course. So, I work at the Bunny Ranch brothel.
At the bordello.
It's the Bunny Ranch brothel, and all the ladies on site are STD checked once a week for STDs, and for HIV and AIDS once a month by blood. So all the ladies there are tested, and we are super clean, get tested regularly, weekly. I mean, I would rather have sex with her knowing that she is a working girl out of brothel, and I would not have sex with you knowing that you are just a regular person. You know what I mean? I feel more safe working and having sex
kind of throwing Essie under the bus there.
No, I think it's valid. I think it's valid what she's saying.
Well, yeah, like I'm sorry, but I'm very conscious,
but,
and as a brothel worker, I'm not no hooker off the street. We are very high end. Our prices are very high end. Most guys come into our establishments with chump money. You know what I mean? Like you can't get anything like with that price, right?
But okay, so hold on. So the question is, though, at what point would you disclose to...
I just answered that 5 times. I said I would disclose my career to my husband or to my boyfriend. I do not need to disclose my career.
How long, if the girls had to wager, how long from first date, first meeting a guy to becoming boyfriend does it usually take? A couple months?
I'm not looking for a serious relationship right now.
But you just said, well,
hypothetically,
if I hypothetically was looking for a serious relationship, I would tell them straight up off the bat.
Like first date?
First date,
3 dates?
Yeah. But going into a date knowing that I'm not going to be dating this person and we're just going to be fucking for a night or two, why do I have to disclose that information? I don't.
Do you feel like part of it is a safety reason? Like, do you feel like if they know, they'll be...
It's my business. It's my life. It's my job. If I don't want to disclose my job to anybody, I don't have to.
Also, if you're being safe, then I don't see a problem with the sex aspect.
Exactly.
I was about to say, I mean, if this is not somebody you're looking at as like somebody that you're looking at as a future serious partner, and it's a one-night stand situation, or like
and
you're
they're
going
not
on
asking
a couple
you
dates,
who you're sleeping with.
As long as you're being safe,
business.
because I think safety is the biggest aspect. And let's be real, most people out there in the dating world are not getting tested as regularly
and
as somebody that
please
is a legal
get tested after every partner. It's so important to wear condoms and get tested.
Here's a really good question.
For all the viewers out there.
If you were on a first date with a guy and you were maybe thinking, this is going to be more casual, and you have no idea how he knew. He was just like randomly asking shit. Do you work at a carnival? Do you work at a zoo? Are you a prostitute? If he asked you, I can't imagine any dude on the first date asking a girl this question.
That would be bold.
Okay. By the way, Becky, and he asked you straight up, are you a prostitute? Would you say yes?
Yes. Okay. I'm a very truthful,
would you be kind of
honest
offended by that
person.
Question?
No.
Because if you ask
I'm not very easily
you can't
offended.
take that profession and like
I am a legal
offense.
prostitute.
Yeah.
And that's my term that I like to use. I know you don't like to use that term, but for me, I mean, I am what I am, and I'm a legal prostitute, a legal hooker, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I mean? And I have no problem with being honest if the question arises.
But so you say you were on dating apps, you were on Hinge, right? You're meeting up with these guys, and you don't put it on your Hinge. You don't really tell them beforehand. If they ask what you do for work, what do you tell them? Because that's typically on a date. That's a very common...
Honestly, a lot of the guys that I talk to on Hinge when I just want to hang out with somebody like in town, if I'm in a new town or whatever, usually they don't really ask me like what I do for work. So
really, it doesn't. I mean, I feel like on a date that's pretty common. Like, just, hey, what do you do for work?
I think I honestly think it depends on the type of date, because I've been on dates with men who don't ask me that because they're seeking something else. They don't actually care about me. But if a man's looking for a relationship and I'm looking for a relationship, the first thing I'm asking them is, do you have a job? What do you do? How much money do you make? And not the money part, but I mean, eventually you get to that point because
what you ask, you end up knowing what they do.
You
want to find out, like,
because I want to know what job do you have, and if they tell me that they have a certain job, I'm gonna assume.
So I am in school, and so I mean, if they ask me like what job I have, I am open to telling them that I dance and stuff like that. Like,
okay. I
I tell them.
Move however you want. My own
Yeah,
personal
straight
perspective,
up.
and we're gonna ask the chat here in just a sec. If I was on Hinge and I was about to go on a date with a girl, I would honestly want to know straight up before even the date, either through text. You don't have to have it on your profile, but pretty early on, I would want a disclosure on if she was a prostitute.
oh yeah. and-
Let's ask the chat. Chat,
Yeah.
would you want the girl to disclose before you meet in person if she does prostitution? Can you scroll that down? One in the chat. One in the chat if you'd want disclosure. Two in the chat if you don't care.
And this is, and we're talking about like serious,
Most guys care.
you know, because I'm
know.
going on
I'm always
Hinge.
serious.
I'm going on Hinge. I'm not looking for a serious relationship. You know what I mean?
I feel like most people
Where am I
on
supposed to
Hinge
find
do.
one?
Hinge is
Yeah,
usually
I
I'm
feel
not,
like-
and I put that
Bumble
in my
and Tinder.
thing,
Oh,
looking for a
okay.
long term or a short term thing, because
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
looking to, you know.
Yeah.
And when I do hook up with guys for fun, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't feel the need to say nothing about it because I don't want a relationship right now. So
Yeah. If I'm looking for a partner, I don't think I necessarily would be okay with that. But if we're just having sex, then what's the expectation?
and
supposed to be?
and when I am looking for a partner or whatever, I will 100% disclose that information right off the bat. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah.
I would just consider disclosing, even for short term. Think about it.
No,
Do you think a
it's
man
not,
should
it's none of their
disclose-
business.
Do you think a man who sleeps around probably equally as much should disclose to me that he's
Yeah.
a whore? But they don't.
Should you? I want
If-
you to
if-
disclose to me how many girls are in your Snapchat right before we start talking. Then
A little
Or-
different. Here's the mirror image. If I was a male prostitute that was sleeping with 5 new women a day for money, yes, I think in that same situation, I think he should disclose to the women he's going to date. By the way, I am a male prostitute. I sleep with women for money. I'm not. I don't have a double standard on this one.
The argument essentially boils down to, should you tell a person something that's going to risk them sleeping with you, right? If you think, oh, are they going to say no once they find out this information? Should you disclose it ahead of time? I
Let me
think
also
that's what base
let me
is.
add one other layer to this. So let's remove the relationship component. Me as a guy, and I'm very much not interested in short-term casual sex. Sleeping with a girl one time I have very little interest in that. If I sleep with a girl, I want there to be a continuity. But let's assume that I was interested in a one-night stand or a fuck buddy, casual sex.
Low value man.
I would still want disclosure under those
I
circumstances.
owe you nothing. I owe you nothing. I literally owe you nothing but
it would
healthy,
be nice.
protected sex. No, you
It
don't
would-
owe. I don't owe. I don't think that I need to tell you anything really, besides
I think
us
that's-
having
I
safe
think,
sex.
I think morally, I think it would.
It's my
be
job.
appropriate.
No, I kind of agree with you, Brian, but then it comes down to the fact that that's also a risk that you're undertaking when you're having casual sex, right? You're not really forming a relationship with this person. You don't really know them. So yeah, you're risking the fact that like they're not going to care about
Exactly.
100% what you care about. So that's where I kind of like diverge.
That's a
towards,
fair
like-
What's your
point
opinion?
in terms of, hey, if you're engaging in casual sex, one night stands, you are taking risks because you haven't had an opportunity to properly vet the person for a variety of different things. But
That's
in
what I was
my
gonna ask you.
my stance, I still think even within a casual sex scenario, one night stand, I think disclosure would be warranted. LA Surfer for life, no hate, but men can sense probably wait, hold on, I got something for that.
Hey.
It doesn't
she was
protect
a
you from
whore.
HIV or
B,
parasites, but
she
that's
was a
why you wear
whore.
protection.
Hooker vibes. He probably just thought you were down to smash. I mean, if he played his cards right, would he have been able to get down with you? Also, those STD tests don't protect you from HPV and parasites. Also,
That's why
I
you
don't-
get the HPV shot.
That's why you use a condom.
That's why you use
What
protection.
about
Duh.
herpes? Do they? I don't think they test for herpes, do
And that's why we do DCs. At
DCs?
every brothel, we give
Dick
DCs,
checks.
which are dick checks. We make sure there's no lesions, warts, any of that stuff.
What if it's like pre-lesionous? Wait, hold on. Like he could be shedding or whatever, but there would be no way for you to.
That's why you
Or
wear
same
a
with the
condom.
girl.
That's why you wear a
Wait,
condom.
question. If you're a girl and you have herpes, can you still work?
I don't believe
No.
so. No.
But they don't really test. I don't think they test for herpes.
But if
I don't
there's
know
a
what the
girl
test-
that's
I mean-
broken
I'm pretty sure
out,
they test for
she's not-
everything.
yeah, they're testing for.
I know in the porn industry, I think they don't test for HPV and herpes because it's
Well,
hard to.
they test for HIV and AIDS by blood once a month.
Yeah, but I mean herpes.
Here.
That's for life, son.
Nobody. It's
Just
never
saying.
been reported that anybody that have had sex at the brothels have had STD.
At
we
the
haven't
brothels?
had. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
we haven't
brothels?
had
Any-
issues.
Any
of
legal brothel in
anybody
Nevada.
getting STD.
Nobody has had an STD. None of the working girls.
The state of Nevada picks the doctors, so there's no corruption. So if a girl tests dirty, she doesn't work. And that's how we keep
All I'm
people
saying is,
safe.
if I'm about to have a one night stand with a girl, which I don't do one night stands, at least tell me if you're a fucking prostitute. That's all I'm asking.
Sure.
Tell me if you're a prostitute. That's it.
Sure.
You know,
I can give you that.
I fucked 5 dudes yesterday for money. You know, at least.
Because
do
I
the-
feel like, but
to
why?
be the-
But
to
why
be
is
the-
it gonna
That's
ease
why
you?
you would
Tell me.
focus on long-term relationships.
What is it gonna?
So
How is
that-
that
but
gonna
what
ease
if
your
she?
mind?
What if she just
Like,
fucked
what does
5
that do
dudes
for
for
you?
I was gonna
not
ask
for
that.
money?
Yeah.
She
I
was
was
just
asking
straight,
that.
just fucking all the time.
Is
Would
it
you
like the for money
She's
that's
probably
the
not
hang
gonna
up?
admit that.
Well, that's bad too. It's not just that it's for money.
But would you want her to be like, hey,
So
I
do you
fucked
think
5
that
dudes
women should
yesterday?
disclose who they're sleeping with?
You
when
should just
they wanna
ask
have
her
a
who-
one-night
It's
And
in
she's
one night
fucking.
stand. It's like if you don't
Well,
care that she
I
fucked
mean, if you
5
want-
dudes before you,
Well,
then why do
if
you
you
care
were-
about my prostitution?
I feel like
job?
if you
No,
want
no,
to
no,
know,
no.
you
I
should
do.
fucked
No,
5
I do
dudes
care.
before you,
I do
though.
care.